Today's virtual lab is the AIM RF test by Germaine Laboratories. The kit includes everything that you need to complete the test. This is a test that you can perform on non-diluted serum, and you can detect the qualitative or semi-quantitative values for rheumatoid factor. Here's your lot number and expiration date. It gives you temperature requirements as well. Everything that you need to complete this rheumatoid factor test is included in this kit. Here's your package insert, and you will be given this in a PDF format also for you to read the procedure, slide test procedure, specimen collection and preparation. Here's your negative control. The kit has a positive control, a negative control, and each of these have their own lot number and expiration date. That isn't necessarily the lot number that's on the box. So oftentimes in the lab, you have to document the positive and the negative control. And you would put in that lot number for that negative control and the result, and then do the same thing, document the positive control lab. For your lab, don't worry about doing that, just put NA if it is present. Your rheumatoid factor latex is also included in the kit. If you notice, me taking it out of the box, it hasn't been used since last semester. So a lot of the latex has settled down just due to gravity. So you must make sure that your latex is well mixed. I'm going to mix it a few more times also, so that way we can make sure that it is well distributed. It also has this glycine saline buffer, which is used to complete the semi-quantitative result for the patients. It has these dispenser sticks, so you can use those to pipette, and also this slide, it's a plastic slide. It has a black background because the latex white, and you want to be able to see the agglutination and the results really well. So I've labeled this card with a positive and a negative label. My positive is going to be on the right. Make sure that your controls are well mixed. Every time in the lab, make sure everything is well mixed. You want a free-flowing drop. Just squeeze the dropper until one drop just freely flows and falls. Your negative control, you're going to do the same thing. Make sure it's well mixed. And just dispense one drop onto the card. And your latex solution is going to be next. So make sure it's well mixed. I also make sure that the dropper itself is well mixed, and that you want to squeeze the solution out a few times back and forth, because the same thing can happen inside of that dropper. You're going to have some latex that will accumulate at the bottom of that dropper. So one free-flowing drop on this as well. Replace it back into your kit. Grab a dispenser stick. You want to use one for the negative control. Toss that one away in your biohazard. Do the same thing for the positive. I always tap it on its side a little bit because most of the drop can leave with the dispenser stick when you throw it away. So you want to rock it for 2 minutes. I went ahead and performed the controls first so you can see what a negative and a positive looks like. And I'm going to perform the patient separately. But oftentimes you would perform your controls along with your patient, your negative control and your positive control along with the patient. And as you can see, the positive control is already starting to show some agglutination, but I went ahead and rocked it for the full 2 minutes, so that way you can visualize what it looks like. You see the negative control has that smooth background. There's no agglutinants that are appearing. It's just that same cloudy latex look. And your positive control is showing agglutination with a clear background. Okay. Your positive control contains greater than 8 IUs per ml of rheumatoid factor. Your negative control has less than 8 IUs per ml. So this kit can only pick up greater than 8 IUs. It cannot pick up less than 8 IUs. All right, now we have our patient. So Betty Black has already been pipetted onto her card. Here's your MedRec number, the patient's demographics. There's your one drop that's already been pipetted. And then to pipette the next patient, you don't need to have a 50 microliter MLA pipette to perform this test. These dispensers can be used. So you want to squeeze the straw, let it go, and you see it's going to pull up a sample. It's going to pull up more than 50 microliters, but as you squeeze it, one drop is going to fall. And you can see that it's a pretty accurate size compared to if you were to use a 50 microliter pipette. So take your rheumatoid factor latex, do a free-flowing drop onto the card. Do the same thing for Miss Black. Grab a dispenser stick, and then you want to evenly mix it into the circle as much as possible, close to the black outer rim. That'll kind of keep that sample in that circle, but cover as much of the area as possible. Okay, and then you want to tilt it back and forth for 2 minutes. It's a little hard for me to get my coordination here, but I ended up doing it. So you want to rock it for 2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes now. So if you see here, Mr. Bacon, this is his sample. Even though it's been 2 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and rock it a few more times so that way you can visualize if you see any agglutinants or anything inside of that sample. And then here's Miss Betty Black. You see the agglutinants will kind of be around the edge. But for this test, it is a serum test. So you let the sample clot, you'll test the serum. And this was basically just the qualitative test for rheumatoid factor.